Welcome PTR TV and iRacing Live. We're at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the season finale. It's the American Sim Racing Series and their ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series. At the Homestead Miami Speedway, we are here to crown a champion in what will be the Sam Maxwell Customs 150. As we said, there are 4 drivers that are going for a championship. We have Brian Yazik, Mitch Brown, Jared Bogart, and Jason Stewart will be battling around this speedway for 100 laps, 150 miles of action. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the action.
The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport and Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside off of the back straightaway. 26 at Hallmark trying to go 3 wide. No one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's going to dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerritt at the line.
When I was 16 years old, I was working in
All right, race fans, PTR TV and iRacing Live. Again, thank you for joining us tonight for what is going to be a very exciting, intense race here in Southern Florida at Homestead Miami Speedway. These guys are just beginning qualifying now, and we're going to keep live action right now and show you these guys as they turn their laps, and of course as they will set their running order and who is going to have the best starting position of the playoff drivers. And giving you the calls here tonight is myself, Corey Silva, and Evan Black. Joe Chris behind the scenes helping us out. Evan, I mean, this is what we've been waiting for all season, is the championship race. We've been following these guys all since January, and well, I think we kind of have a good idea what to expect, but championship night, everything on the line, absolutely anything is possible.
Yeah, a lot can happen in this race, and especially because in practice, the top three guys, they're the three fastest drivers in practice, are not in the playoffs. Pete Baskins, Devin Sarah, and Ty Hess are all not in the playoffs. The highest playoff driver was fourth, which was Brian Yazik, which I think we kind of expected that with the season that Yazik has had. Him and Mogard kind of be the favorites, but a lot can happen in this race.
Yeah, Jason Stewart on the track right now, and that number 7 machine looks like he is going to finish his lap off in the, as we pull up the qualifying tracker right here, he's going to be P8. Jared Mogard looks like he is P2 right now, and we'll try to find Brian Yazik. This is single car qualifying, so all of this is going on simultaneously rather. It looks like Brian Yazik is just now exiting the pits right now, and he kind of has an idea at this point of what he needs to do. A 32.468 is going to get him the highest of the championship drivers. Stewart back there with a 5.83. Mitch Brown is coming off a 4, so he will have a lap in right after Brian Yazik puts one up, but I think this is the green flag for Yazik, so we'll follow him as he completes this run. Right on the bottom of the track, and for a hot lap, I think that's where you're going to want to be here at Miami, is right on the bottom of the racetrack. But this race, as it does wear on, as the tires wear, as the track gets that rubber and heat built in, see him running the second groove in 3 and 4, as this track does drive differently on each end of the speedway, something that these guys will definitely be feeling behind the driver's seat. And Yazik he'll fall into P4 right behind Mogard. Mitch Brown, he's going to be taking his completion of lap number 1. That'll put him 10. So Jason Stewart bumped back to 11th. Yazik is still on a lap. I'm not sure if the tires will allow him to get that, get any kind of more speed on this run, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see here as he comes out of turn 4 if this lap will be any better. And now a little bit slower for Brian Yazik there, and right now our playoffs drivers are starting 3rd and 4th, and then 11th and 12th. And
Devin Sarah is looking to be the pole sitter right now, and remember Devin Sarah, he got bumped out in the last round, and just more of a heartbreak for him, just knowing that he should, well, not should necessarily, but could be in this position, but unfortunately isn't. So now that that is done, we are going to briefly go in and get a little pre-race interview with your playoff drivers and try to see where their mindset is now, knowing where indeed they are going to be starting in tonight's race. So we'll start on the bottom of the totem pole, if you will, and we'll bring in to the booth with us Jason Stewart. All right, Jason, it's championship night. You've been looking forward to this all season, and well, you qualified 12th so far. You're the lowest of the 4 on the totem pole, but I know that doesn't necessarily mean too much. Homestead is a very dynamic track. A lot can happen, so what's your mindset tonight, man?
Yeah, just a fun race with those green, and hope we have a good race like last year, and please fall the right way.
Any kind of concerns or anything that you're going to have to look out for tonight at Homestead particularly?
Yeah, I think tire wear, and we're going to take 1 or 2 stops. I got to decide myself.
All right, man. We'll give you those couple minutes to decide. Good luck, and we'll be talking to you after the race.
All right, thank you guys.
And now Evan will drag in Mitch Brown, who will be rolling off in the 11th position here tonight.
Well, Mitch, you're probably starting a little bit further back in this field than you would really like to, but well, you're going to get a shot to go race for a championship here, and it's going to be a 100-lap race. You're still going to have quite a bit of time to get up through the field, and how do you feel about your chances going up and doing that?
I'm just going to take it one lap at a time and just be in the best position I can to be at the end of the race. That's all I really can do now. Everything's out of my hands right now. Just got to drive the track and put everything I got in the truck and just go out there and try to win it.
Yeah, your only win so far this season was at Texas Motor Speedway, another 1.5 miles. Is there any similarities from those two tracks that you can kind of take over? I know they're not exactly the same shape, but is there anything you can take over from Texas?
Just try to be patient in the long run. That's all I really got to do. You know, just kind of just do my own thing and let the cards fall into place. And you know, if I'm there at the end, I am. If not, you know, just got to finish as high as I can in the point standings.
All right, well, good luck in this race, and thanks for talking with us, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, guys.
And now Corey has caught up with Brian Yazik, who's going to be starting in 4th.
All right, Brian, you are 4th here tonight on the grid, second of the playoff drivers. So I know you've been saying good things about Miami. You like this track, and you're in a pretty good starting position. So what's your mindset here on championship night?
Well, mindset on championship night, obviously get through the first lap and just kind of settle in. I was telling Scott, my spotter, I'm usually not great at qualifying here, but usually within the first run I figure out what we need to do. So that's what we're going to work on, is just getting the truck to really rotate better and you know, be able to make the moves that we need to make in order to win this championship for HP Simulation and Loud Pedal Motorsports and everybody that makes this deal go around.
All right, man, you got 100 laps. We'll be watching you. Good luck out there, bud.
Okay, thank you. Have a great one.
And now the highest of the starters tonight, Jared Mogard.
Well, Jared, you were able to qualify there in 3rd, the highest of the 4 playoff drivers. How do you feel about your shots to go out there and try and win this championship?
Feeling pretty good. We ran a couple of races earlier and did a lot of practicing today to get ready for it. And, feeling pretty good. Qualified a lot better than I thought I was going to. Usually I qualify about 15th, so it's already a win in our book, and now we just got to go out there and do what we've been doing all year.
Yeah, speaking of winning there, do you think you're going to need to go out there and win this race to win the championship, or do you think you'll just need to get a good solid 3rd or 4th place finish?
Honestly, I think you're gonna have to be top 3. If you're outside the top 3, it's gonna be, you're gonna need a little bit of luck. All of them other 3 guys are really, really good, and you know, they've proven that all year. So whoever gets it at the end of this 100 lap is definitely gonna earn it. But I think you definitely have to be top 3, maybe even top 2, to be completely honest with you, to get it done.
Yeah, the good thing for you with needing to be top 2 or 3 is your last 3 races, your worst finish is 2nd, including your win last week at Phoenix. So it looks like you're going to have a pretty good shot to go up there and win this championship. Do you have much of a strategy going into it, or are you just going to try and stay up front and just go out there and win it?
Yeah, we've had good runs here to end it, so hopefully we didn't jinx it or anything, and we can get it done one more race. So strategy, I got a game plan, but a lot of it's going to dictate by how the yellows fly and things of that nature. If it goes green, which I hope it does, we got the strategy in place, but kind of got to wait and see what happens there.
All right, thanks for talking with us, and good luck in this race.
Yeah, very quickly, I gotta give a shout out to Jim Foose at ASRS and his officials, Nick Coffin and them. Jim is dealing with something, family emergency kind of, so a lot of leagues, 9 out of 10 leagues would have just canceled tonight, pushed it out to next week or whenever, but thankfully we got Nick Coffin and Race Control to kind of help cover the void there. So we're thinking of you, Jim, and thank you for everything he does, so we'll get it done.
All right, thanks for talking with us, and good luck, Jared.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and just as we complete those interviews, that is the conclusion of qualifying. So these guys are going to line up here on championship night for the starting lineup, the final one of the 2018 season. So let's bring it to you, the PTR TV starting lineup from Homestead Miami Speedway. On the pole tonight, Devin Serra, 32.356 on the front row. Nick Curling outside of the front row. Jared Mogart and Brian Yazik, 2 championship contenders, 3rd and 4th. And then we have Brandon Stokes, Alex Giese, 5th and 6th. Sam Maxwell and Jared Haggerty in P4.
And we have, did you say Jared Haggerty in P4, Corey?
Well,
because he's in 8th.
That too.
Jonathan Holstein in that number 73 machine rolling off in the 9th position. Ty Hester in the 36th and 10th. A couple more of those playoff drivers. Mitch Brown in 11th. Jason Stewart in 12th. Alan Young in 13th. Scott Smith in 14th. Andy Veltman 15th. And Towersville in 16th.
I think I meant to say row 4, not P4. But anyways, Brad Cross rolling off 17th. Pete Baskins rolling off in the 18th spot. Tim Knott in 19th. Troy Haight in 20th. Dylan Hickey in 21st, Josh Walker in 22nd, Jordan Harnish in 23rd, and Mark Cohn rounding out your top 24.
In the rest of the field, we have the number 60 of Brandon Boyd rolling off in 25th, Jim Foose in 26th, Richard Fletcher 27th, Steve Bahala 28th, Nick Kaufman 29th, which he is not racing here tonight, so just kind of remove him from there in your mind as you're looking at it. Clarence Bonner in the 13 rolling off in P30.
And that is your field tonight at Miami. The race weather tonight, you can see, well, late afternoon conditions, just under 81 degrees in the air and 89 on the track, so a little bit warmer than your standard conditions, and about a 6-mile-an-hour wind as that varies here tonight. And again, conditions at Homestead, 100 laps, and something in play tonight is the pit access roads, Evan. If we do have green flag stops, we know how difficult those can be. We've seen many guys go off in the grass, and that could very easily cost someone their night.
Yeah, with the access road down there in turn number 3, it's really easy, especially on 30, 40 lap old tires. Just you underestimate the grip you have and just driving in a little bit too deep, and you just do not have very much traction down there. And it's very easy to slide up into the grass, and once you get your right front into the grass, it just does not turn.
And you can see here on the ticker, and all of your championship drivers will be denoted in red, so an easy way to follow them throughout the field here tonight. And again, 100 laps of competition. I want to thank everyone on PTR TV and iRacing Live as we conclude the 2018 Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. We started back in January, and here we are through the full campaign in mid-November, ready to crown a champion with a very fabulous custom-made Sam Maxwell wheel. So that is the prize for the champion, and well, that is a very great prize, and I know somebody's going to want it, and we're going to find out in about an hour and a half's time. So the pace car is coming off of corner number 4 for the final time in the 2018 season. Devin Serra is going to lead him down for the beginning of the race. Pace car is in, and there we are, green flag racing. We're racing on championship night.
Pretty even start by that front row there, but Devin Serra is still going to have a slight advantage going down into turns number 1 and 2 now. Serra is clear for the lead over that 45 of Curling. Championship contender Jared Mogar getting by the 45 for the 2nd position, and Brian Yazik falling back a little bit.
Yeah, nothing too concerned about if you're a 55 fan. That 55 known to be better on the long runs, and this is a tire wear track, so we'll be interested to see how that does play out. But here comes Brandon Stokes, here comes Sam Maxwell to the inside, but Yazik using that outside, trying to surge around the 0-1, but Nick Curling is in front of him, blocking his momentum as lap 1 goes to Serra, and Mogart up to P2.
Yazik still there in that 4th position, but running a little bit higher than everyone else, at least in front of him. Put a 3 wide back behind him. Almost some contact there. Trying to see who that was. The 73 of Jonathan Holstein almost got into the side of someone there.
Yeah, Jonathan
really close.
Yeah, it's almost Talladega style racing. Into the fence is Holstein entering 3. I think he got into the beginning of the safer barrier. He's sideways, and he's going to right-hand hook it in front of the field. Caution on the speedway.
Caution on lap 2 there. Gonna try and see what happened.
I know exactly what happened because it's happened to myself countless times here at Homestead. And see, he's on the outside off of corner number 2. He's on almost a 3 wide is the first couple laps here at Homestead, almost our plate track style. But you can see as he's going down the back straightaway, that safer barrier sticks out. He got into the safer barrier as it began, threw him off, and then he just was never able to save the truck. And we don't like netcode, but I think a couple drivers are thankful that internet connectivity saved them there from a bigger impact. Only a 1 truck incident, and that'll be terminal damage for Jonathan Holstein. But obviously only 1 lap of action complete, and we will have all these drivers staying on the speedway.
Except for 4. Looks like Tyler Seville, and trying to see who else. Andy Veltman, Jordan Harnish, as well as Mark Cohn coming down pit road. Doesn't look like they have any damage, so they were a little bit further back in the field and just wouldn't come down and get some new tires.
Yeah, nothing to lose at that point, so these guys are obviously just trying to do what they can do. But up front, I mean, Evan, the guy leading this race right now, Devin Serra, I mean, it's I kind of have some drivers to relate this to, almost like a Kyle Larson last year. You go back to maybe in 2014, Jeff Gordon, where a driver who's up there all season long, fast all season, and then just misses the final round via however the circumstances roll. And it must make him want to win this race even more, but at the same time, if he does win this race, just makes you wonder what could have been.
Yeah, because he did not miss that top 4. Looks like only by about 3 points. Sarah did miss that top 4. And right now, it looks like he does have the car to beat, but still a lot can change in these 96 remaining laps here once we cross the start-finish.
And you can go back and to the archives last year. We did cover this exact race. And Devin Serra, he was in contention for that title. He had the fastest truck, but that race was only 67 laps. It went green flag until the very end of the race, and there was a little bit of a fuel strategy that went on, and that fuel strategy did not go in his benefit. So although he was the fastest truck, he did lose the race and the championship to Jason Stewart. Stewart, who has BTR TV on his back bumper. Well, what do you say? But he won the championship. Didn't win it on speed, but he won it on just having the right strategy at the right time. And he is in the 11th spot, and kind of the underdog, Evan, if you will, this season. Stewart not put up amazing numbers, but he was consistent, and that's what got him into this round. And as we said, anything is possible going for the title.
Yeah, you know, Jason Stewart, he's only had 2 top 5s in this entire season, 11 top 10s, but just being consistent in the playoffs is what matters with this format, and that's what he's been doing. He's just been running top 7, top 8, and that's enough to get you here. As long as the other drivers do have some issues, and as we saw with Devin Serra, he had quite a few issues in this round.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, as you said. And obviously Mitch Brown running in 7th right now. He did have a win, has, again, not phenomenal numbers, but he's had very good numbers and slightly more consistent than Stewart has been, but not quite to what Mogard and Yazik have been doing. But again, all these drivers have gotten themselves here. They all have an equal chance to get this title, but we do have 1 to go, and 2 championship drivers will be on the outside row right now. Mogard and Yazik to your inside. It's going to be Nick Curling behind Devin Serra. So now you can't count out for these race wins, Evan. You can't count out Brandon Stokes. Go back to Lucas Oil. He was the fastest driver, and he has been very fast at all these races. Very easily could play spoiler tonight.
Yeah, there's quite a few guys out there that could very easily play spoiler here, with Devin Serra, Nick Curley, and Brandon Stokes, Sam Maxwell all up there in the top 6. Pretty easy for one of them just to get out the front and win this race. And at that point, the playoff drivers, they don't need to win. They just need to be the highest finishing playoff driver.
That's exactly how it is. You can win this race. You can win the title finishing 20th if everybody has issues. That's just how it does play out. So see how that does shake out. But here we go. We're going to get this race underway for a second time as we complete the first caution of the event. And Sarah will be the control truck yet again with Mogard to the outside. Pace car is in. Wait for the 20 to get on the loud pedal. And there it is. We are racing again at Miami.
Devin Serra is going to clear the 0-0 of Jared Mogard there for the lead, and Mogard shutting the door on the 45 Nick Curling. Brian Yazik up there in the outside lane to the outside of that 0-1. And I think for this first lap, you really don't want to be on the outside lane, but after a lap or two, it does kind of start to come in. But here comes Yazik to the outside of the 45 of Curling, going down into turns number 3 and 4. We'll see how high is Yazik going to run. Not super high, still another 2 or so lanes up above him, but he's going to try and make the outside lane work.
And this is the point, Evan, where this is the most nerve-wracking part. You can see all the jostling going on around as the drivers have plenty of grip. This is a multi-groove track, as you can see, nearly some 3 wide. That has Sam Maxwell, Jared Haggerty, Mitch Brown, that number 18. He's to the inside. He's trying to make his presence known and get up there with these guys. But when it's pack racing like this, Evan, this is the easiest opportunity for there to be some carnage that can really throw off someone's night.
Yeah, when everyone is all bunched together, one rack in front of you can take out 5 or probably between 5 to 15 trucks very easily. So hopefully we do not see that tonight, but it is a very high possibility just with the nature of this track, as Mitch Brown is still side by side trying to get around the 6 of Haggerty.
In my experience, where I just ran these trucks in a race just prior to this broadcast, and it is tight on the bottom, at least in my experience. I don't know.
Mitch Brown is the left rear quarter panel of Haggerty.
And that will bring out a caution. Oh my God, Haggerty with the acrobatics lands on the hood of Jim Foose. What is gonna have to watch the replay. I don't have words for what just happened there, but we'll go on to the chopper cam. And yeah, Brown into the left rear sends Haggerty hard into the inside fence. That sends him back onto the racetrack. Jim Foose with nowhere to go. Jim Foose with the double whammy. I have never seen a car land on another car's roof like that. But it just happened. We'll go on board with the 42. And see, he hit him once and then on his head. Take 2. And again, Jim Foose, this is not how he was wanting his night to go, as in a emergency situation with a member of his family running an honorary truck in honor of pulmonary fibrosis there. Any donations, you could see there's a website on the back, pulmonaryfibrosis.org. Jim Foose going through a lot now, league owner, so going through a lot, not the night he wanted to have, but unfortunately, that is how it played out. But luckily for Mitch Brown, although he may have had a little bit of instigation in that, he got off easy, maybe a little bit of right front damage, but everybody in the pits, and we'll see who gets the race off pit road.
So I got 4 drivers actually staying out there, and Ty Hester took 2 tires there. So it'll be the first car or first truck off of pit road, but there's still 4 vehicles that did stay out there. Baskins, Hickey, Harnish, and Veltman. Yep. And Harnish and Veltman, they pitted under that last caution, but Hickey and Baskins have not pitted this race.
No, they have not. And from what I remember in practice of it, I want to say that Pete Baskins was rather quick in practice. I don't know if he qualified or not, because he was all the way back there, but
Baskins was actually fastest in practice, but looks like he did qualify, but it was not a very good lap for him.
Whether intentional to stay out of the field or maybe just screwed up his lap, I don't know. But there is some race speed in that number 3 truck. And I will say, surprising that we know Andy Veltman, I think he did actually pit on the prior caution, so he does have slightly fresher tires. And I know in an affiliate league that Evan and I participated in, at this exact track in the Xfinity cars, I do know Andy Veltman, he does know how to get around this racetrack. He I can say that I won, but he did put up quite the battle, and I think he would definitely be a driver that now that he has track position, although on slightly older tires, he may be able to do something with it. And in your playoff picture, we'll go back to 7th spot. That's where Mogard will start, right alongside Brian Mogard. Brian Yazik, add that one to the blooper reel. And then we'll have Mitch Brown, or I guess Mitch Stewart and Jason Brown, as I've been calling them apparently. Brown is in 12th, Stewart will be in 15th position, and that has to be pretty nerve-wracking of it on these restarts, knowing the different strategies going on, how this track races in pack form on the first couple laps. I do not want to be back there where those drivers are.
Yeah, you always want to be further up through the field, but especially here tonight with, like you've been saying, with the pack racing. It's going to get really dicey back there between probably about 6th and the rest of the field, so Stewart and Brown will most likely be trying to get up through this field as quickly as they can.
The lights are out on the pace car, so it'll be 1 to go this time by, and as we've said, top 4 have stayed out. The 5th place truck, Ty Hester, has taken 2 tires, and worth noting that Jordan Harnish and Veltman have 3 lap fresher tires. They pitted on the first yellow flag of the race on lap number 2. But the front row is on the original set of tires, so we'll see if there's any wheel spin or how they are able to get going. If there is any kind of a stack up throughout the field, we'll find that out as we head down the back straightaway here at Miami. 13 laps in, and Evan, how about you get us going for this next restart?
Getting ready to come through turns number 3 and 4. Pete Baskins, Dylan Hickey, Jordan Harnish, Andy Veltman, Ty Hester, the top 5. Be interesting to see how those tires do end up playing out, especially for Ty Hester out there on 2 tires. If that works good for him, we could see some more of that later on in this race. But pace car out of turn 4 now, waiting to pull down on a pit road. And there it goes, now waiting for Pete Baskins, and there he goes. We're back underway here at Homestead, and Baskins got a really good jump there over the 54.
Yes, he did, with a very good push from Harnish in the 44. Gets them out to a little bit of an advantage, top 3 kind of breakaway, if you will. Veltman even in 4th, 3 wide.
Underneath Hester and Sarah out of turn 2.
Power move. Watch out from Brian Yazik to the inside of Devin Sarah down the back straightaway. That's for 8th spot. He did fall back in the line. Sarah is door-to-door still with Mogard as the top 4 have separated themselves. Mogard stuck to the inside of the track, trying to make that pass on the 36. Remember, he is on 2 fresh tires versus everybody else's 4. And Brian Yazik trying to make that inside work, but these guys are stuck in double file formation right now.
They're catching those top 4 that did stay out there. They are definitely faster than them. But Ty Hester is doing a pretty nice job up there in the outside lane on those 2 tires. See if he can keep it up through 3 and 4. And it looks like he is going to stay next to Mogard. And now they're going to be trying to get through that slower cars of the 97 and who is that on his outside of the 54 Hickey.
This is where, as I said, Homestead turns into Talladega. Mogard almost bump drafting Veltman, trying to get by the 54 Dylan Hickey. And here comes Sarah looking for a 3 wide on the bottom. Brian Yazik is right behind that. They're going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway. Yazik does not want to be in this mess. Mogard just in front of it. Nearly some contact with the 54 and the 97.
And then Mitch Brown just behind them is 3 wide once again with the double 0 Mogard, Hester, and that is really close. They're out of turn 4. Gonna be 3 wide once again with Mogard and Yazik. This is for the championship lead.
And 3 wide to the inside. Yazik has the position on Mogard, but he doesn't have maybe the preferred groove as the tires wear out. Mogard goes high on the track. Hester behind Mogard up on the top groove is, again, I call this Miami Toner right now. This is plate style racing on the 1.5 mile.
Yazik underneath the 44 Harnish now, and they're going to be 3 wide here, maybe. It's going to be really close here. Out of turn 4, 3 wide with Yazik, Veltman, and Harnish.
One mistake.
Down the front stretch.
This is
too risky for lap 18.
Yes, and look at me.
And almost contact there.
Yazik still looking to the inside of Veltman with the 44 of Harnish to the outside for the 2nd spot. They're 3 by 3 by 3. This is nuts.
It's lap 18, guys. Calm down. You still got 80 laps.
There's still 3
wide and 3 and 4.
Is there a new package on these trucks right now that we're not aware of? Oh my goodness, still, and here comes Mogard. He will have the best position. Looks like the outside of the track is the line to prevail right now. Yazik stuck to the inside, and he's going to have to find some time, but he is digging down there. He's going to try to pull door-to-door with Mogard, and Brandon Stokes right behind them. And, well, Evan, obviously these non-playoff drivers, they are playing absolutely they're cutting no breaks to these championship drivers right now.
Yeah, and they don't need to. It's their choice for what they do want to do. As Yazik going to go maybe 3 wide, Veltman shuts the door.
I thought Yazik was going to put it
Mitch
middle.
Brown underneath Yazik.
Mitch Brown, and here comes Mogard to the inside, just in front of the front bumper of Andy Veltman.
Ty Hester up top, 3 wide. Underneath him is the 55 of Yazik and Mitch Brown, 2 playoff contenders.
One mistake is going to give this championship away for all these drivers, but this is what you have to do. You need this track position, and Jared Mogard has given it to himself. He's gotten through the Hornet's Nest. Unfortunately, Brian Yazik and Mitch Brown have not been able to. Jason Stewart right now, he is all the way back in 18th spot right now, so I mean, all it takes is a wreck up here and the championship is...
Looks like Jason is backing out of it, and actually, he might have had some contact. Yeah, he got really loose out of turn 4 and had a little contact with the 58 of Josh Walker.
And Brian
Yazik, a little bit of right rear damage there.
Brian Yazik has gotten to the top of the speedway right now, but Mitch Brown is about to get around him. Mitch Brown has gotten around him, although on the inside of the track, Brandon Stokes gets stuck behind the 44, who has disappeared. Some momentary connectivity issues, but Jared Mogard going for the lead.
They'll forward the lead with Pete Baskins up top. Jared Mogard down low. Baskins with that higher lane. I think it's where you want to be right now. But he is on those older tires, so will Mogard be able to make that bottom lane work? Almost a little contact there out of turn 2 with Mogard watching up the track.
Oh my God, look at the shuffle.
3 wide still.
Into the fence is the 44. We saw
it. Getting loose there.
We saw that cause a wreck for Jonathan Holstein. He got into the safer barrier. Watch out for Stokes. Stokes is getting it loose right in front of Yazik.
Yazik going to make it through for now onto the outside of that 0-1 of Stokes, right behind the 44 of Harnish and Sarah. And so guys, this is lap 23 of a 100-lap race. You can calm it down a little bit.
Well, I mean,
it's fun for us.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say, for their sake, calm it down. For us, this is exciting, but looking at the grand scheme of the playoffs, Mitch Brown, he's got himself into the 3rd position right now, so
Mogard has cleared for the lead over the 3 of Pete Baskins, and Mitch Brown is almost right up to Baskins.
Yes, and Baskins, remember, Baskins is a fast driver. He was very quick in practice, but he has the tire disadvantage right now by about 10 laps on the rest of these guys, so Brown is going to sail it on in there on the bottom groove, which is starting to go away as the tires do age, so we'll see if he's able to get by that 3 and challenge with Mogard, or how much of a fight Baskins is going to put up. Baskins are going really high, getting that Larson line in. I don't think it's quite ready yet. It is not. So now Brown to P2 as we have a wreck off of corner number 4.
Is it Clarence Bonner involved?
Clarence Bonner, and there is another smoking machine. I mean, that was inevitable that was going to happen. I cannot believe we made it that far with that kind of racing.
Clarence, looks like he just got loose out of turn 4.
Yeah, I saw the Brad Cross. He was right behind him when it did happen. Yeah, he got loose. Brad Cross, just absolutely nothing he could do. He didn't make any contact at all. That was just solely getting loose by Bonner. And trying to see who that other truck was. Scott Smith. No, excuse me, Troy Haight in the 28 got some terminal damage from that by the looks of it. So, Evan, we can take a deep breath now. And we do have pit stops. Jared Mogard, Mitch Brown leading the charge on a pit road, 1 and 2, and then Brian Yazik in 5th. Jason Stewart back in 18th right now. But again, given how they have been racing, Evan, it may not be that bad of a call to be in the back right now.
Yeah, especially with still 75 laps to go here, a lot can happen. I don't know if I would want to be as far back as 18th, but we'll see how that does end up working out for him.
Yeah, maybe a little too far back. Maybe even a top 10 may be a good position to be in, as Mogard will get the run off pit road, and then Mitch Brown in 2nd, Pete Baskins 3rd, Andy Veltman in 4th, Devin Sarah, Brian Yazik will be back in 6th. So again, it looks like Jared Mogard, it was all about just getting through the Hornet's Nest, and him and Yazik, they were in a similar position. Brown, he was behind them, and he managed to get through better than Yazik did. Past him, got all the way up to 2nd. So
yeah, Brown, I believe, was back in the 7th position, restarting there, and He was able to get all the way to the second just by being aggressive and making moves.
It's just all about what lane you want to be in, Evan. And just the first couple laps, you want to be, maybe even the first 5 laps, you want to be right there on the bottom. But it gets to that point where the inside just it gets too tight to run down there. You have to start going in the middle, and you can even make that top work. I think at the end of the race, the top's going to be preferred at the end of these runs, but you get stuck to the bottom 5-6 laps into a run. That's where you start to lose the spots, and that's what happened to Brian Yazik.
Looking at Mitch Brown's truck, I think he wants us to visit Florida.
Well, virtually, we've done a pretty good job because we're here. But that actually, from my research on the good old Facebook group, is that actually is the truck. And I know I will get killed if this is wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right. That is the truck Jason Stewart won the championship with last year.
It does look kind of familiar.
So they are teammates on Dirty Bird Sim Racing. And again, just trying to maybe give a little bit of championship luck. Well, hell, if I was Jason Stewart, I wouldn't have wanted to give up that paint scheme. If it won me a title, I would have wanted to run it again, but trying to spread some luck to the other side of the team, and seems to be working so far. And Jared Mogard, again, up front, not anything that we are not used to seeing, but I guess, Evan, this is just kind of a different attack that compared to most mile and a halves. We see Brian Yazik be able to save the tires and usually prevail as the runs go on, but most mile and a halves we don't see pack racing like this, and I think that really throws off the strategy that he usually has.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do get a long green flag run, who is going to be the best here.
But where you're going 10, even 15 laps in a massive pack, that 10, 15 laps, even if you do save your tires a little bit better, you may lose so much track position that you can't get it back. So almost kind of forces you to get up on the wheel a little bit earlier. And again, kind of some luck of the draw with your lane choice. So he'll be to the outside. Mitch Brown will be to the outside, but Mogard has the control and the ability to get this race going at his own discretion. So he should be able to get a good start as long as he gets up to the gearbox nice and smoothly. And Mitch Brown in second. Pete Baskins and Andy Veltman, they are on an even set of tires this time, and we know that they have fast trucks, so again, don't count them out, and don't count out Devin Serra in that 20. He has been up there all season, and he wants to end the season on a high note as pace car will exit corner number 4 and take the hard left once again, and getting ready for another restart are we. Early in the zone goes Mogard, green flag racing again.
Still going to be side-by-side for second here with Mitch Brown on the outside of Pete Baskins. Going down into turns number 1 and 2 here, and Brown is going to clear using the outside lane, entering the corner. Pete Baskins sliding up the track there. Andy Veltman right to his back bumper through 1 and 2. It's going to allow Sarah to get next to him here, and Veltman got really checked up there.
Yeah, Veltman was kind of throwing the block on a little bit by Baskins, and all this right in front of Brian Yazik in the 55. Brandon Stokes down to the outside of the track. Nick Curling to the outside of the 44. A little bit of 3 wide going on with Alex Giese off of the corner. But right now, Devin Serra in the 3rd spot. He's door-to-door with Baskins. Now Veltman in the middle, trying to go maybe look for a 3 wide opportunity. And Brian Yazik just kind of stuck there, and he's losing spots on that inside lane. And this is just not what he needs. He hasn't been able to get through traffic as good as Mogard and Brown, and just losing these positions.
Still side by side with the 0-1 of Stokes is Yazik out of turn 4 now. Trying to get underneath Pete Baskins as well, entering turn 1. He's going to get to his quarter panel with that number 3 truck. Through turns number 1 and 2, he's going to clear that 0-1 of Stokes. Now only side by side with the 3 of Baskins out of turn 2. Yazik is getting a pretty good run through those corners now using that inside lane. Still not going to be able to clear that 3. See if he can do it here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and the more you run that inside lane side by side, you're burning up that right front tire, so that's something that you don't want to do for too long. He wants to make this pass and try to get his line running so he can get up there with the championship drivers, but at the moment, still in a side-by-side battle. Brandon Stokes may be able to fill in the gap up top, but up front, it's about a 0.3 of a second buffer right now that Mogard does have over Brown. Brown doing a very good job hanging with him thus far, and Well, the question is that we don't know the answer to. We won't know unless we have a long green flag run. Is Brown pushing it? Is Mogard pushing it? Are they both saving it? Very interesting to see how it plays out if we get some green flag laps going.
Yeah, Brown is definitely faster right now. So that's 400ths quicker last time by. Brown was quicker than Mogard. And it looks like Brian Yazik was able to get up to the 5th position now. He was able to get by the 3 of Baskins and the 0-1 of Stokes, so now sets his sights on the 97 of Veltman.
Now, Evan, is there a point in this race where if you're a Serra, if you're a Veltman, if you're a Stokes, where you do start to maybe play a little bit easier? Or do you take the mindset of, well, this is my race too, I'm going for it, you're going to have to pass me the hard way?
It really depends on the person, because some people are just going to kind of let them go by and not trying to interfere with it, but some people are going to race it, and they have every right to race those playoff drivers.
There is no protocol or etiquette or rule saying you must allow the driver. You don't want to interfere to the point of maybe getting involved in a wreck, as Brown has really cut into that gap, but you don't want to wreck a championship driver. We go back to the Xfinity Series last season, and I can't remember who it was for the life of me, but somebody had an issue with Elliott Sadler. You don't want to get in the way.
I mean, that was a different situation. Or actually, now, Corey, we need to talk about the battle for the lead with Mitch Brown underneath Mogard. Brown trying to take that championship lead through turns number 3 and 4. And Brown using that inside lane, not going to be able to do it quite yet. Mogard up top, using that outside lane, getting the momentum down the front stretch, and it's going to clear the 18 of Brown.
Yeah, and this is
the contact with Yazik and Veltman. Veltman way up the track through 1 and 2.
Yeah, we'll see what happened, and if there was any kind of damage perhaps to either of the drivers to the inside of the track on replay. Was Yazik entering corner number 1, and looks like Veltman, I don't know. There's
different turn-in points there, but
I think Veltman, I don't think there was contact. Veltman saw there was contact and just tried his hardest to get out of the way, which he did do. But a very tight scare indeed. But as we said up front, we have a battle for the lead. It's a 3-way battle for the lead now that Devin Serra has joined into the party right now, and all this is a 1 second ahead of Brian Yazik, so we'll see if he's able to close in. And does look like Mogard may have been driving a lot harder, because definitely he is holding these guys up, but
they're only 11 laps into the run, so maybe is Mogard saving a little bit more, because Brown has been quicker for this entire run. So maybe Mogard is saving. We'll only be able to find out in probably 20 laps or so.
Yeah, and Evan, something that I'm curious about that I don't think we have the knowledge of here at Homestead is we've seen it at many other tracks on the service where you run the top, you're faster up top, but you burn up the tires. So sometimes it's actually better for longevity to run more laps on the bottom and only use the top sparingly to make passes. So as these guys are starting to larson it lap after lap, I wonder how that is affecting the right front tires.
Well, Corey, last time by, it looks like Brian Yazik was about 2.5 tenths quicker than Mogard.
Well then, is Mr. Tire...
This time by, he was about 1.5 tenths.
So Mr. Tire Saving, he is, now he was 1.1 seconds back, and he's running that middle groove. See, everybody else is right up against the fence. Serra and Brown maybe about a half lane lower, but Yazik was in the middle low lane, and again, that's just what makes Homestead such a great track, is you have that ability to run all those different grooves and try to make these passes. But it does get really hard to make passes once everyone's up top, getting that momentum wound up. Maybe a little bit of a wiggle from Mogard off of 4, but still holding on to the lead.
And running that middle low line for Yazik, it's going to be easier on him driving the truck, and it's going to be easier on the truck overall on the tires. And right now, looks like it is quite a bit faster than all those guys in front of him.
But he has that ability where he's not burning up that right front. He's not putting the load on that right front, running that higher groove, keeping that speed up there. So he does have that ability to run the high groove even faster when he does choose to go up there. But he is trying to make a move to the inside of Devin Serra right now. And he will pull door to door, but he will not have the momentum. Serra will carry that.
Get a car around on the front stretch. Brandon Stokes up in front of the field.
And that's going to cause about a 3-car wreck. The 43 machine goes around that Steve Buhala, Mark Cohen into the inside fence. And that is not what Brian Yazik wanted to see, because he was just starting to make some progress.
Looks like Soaps just got loose out of 4 there.
Yeah, he was battling with Ty Hester, and he got a little bit loose, and Hester was too close maybe to react into the back bumper, and hard right hook into the middle of the track, slight contact with somebody there, couldn't quite tell who it was, but it was the 43 of Steve Buhala that went around. Not sure if he got any damage from that or just a casual loop, but regardless of such, we are under caution one more time, as there was somebody at the end there who just, Richard Fletcher, who very late hit into the play, but we'll catch up behind the pace car, and we have 1, 2, and 4 right now are our championship drivers. Don't want to forget the 4th driver, Jason Stewart, maybe not having the run he would have hoped for, but again, anything's still possible. We're not even halfway yet. He's back in the 14th position.
Let's get some rear end damage on that truck. Looks like during that wreck, I'm trying to see who got into him. Tim Knott rear ended them, and Corey, Tim Knott messed up our logo.
He did. How dare he? It still says thank you PTR TV, but I mean, I guess
that's just a little squish.
Is that the Brandon Krutz model of the logo?
Yeah.
A little bit destroyed there. Haha, roast. But down pit road we come, and we expect 4 tires and fuel, and you just need a nice, perfect pit stall. You cannot overshoot your pit stall or undershoot it. You got to get right in there. Brian Yazik really put it hard into the stall, but makes it just fine. And Devin Serra overshot his box a little bit. Nick Curling overshot his box a little bit, so that's going to cost them positions on the racetrack. And there we go, off of pit road. Mogard will get it. Mitch Brown in second. It'll be a battle for third, and it'll go to Brian Yazik.
So Sarah all the way back to right now. He's in 6th, it looks like.
Yeah, he is. So we are going to go to our first and our only side-by-side commercial break of the race. So we're going to be right back with you. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of championship night for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series.
Where my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race. Hell of a party and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 7 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt.
We're back on championship night, the Sam Maxwell Customs 150, the finale here to decide a champion at Homestead, and we just finished yet another caution flag, and The race off pit road won again by Jared Mogard, with Mitch Brown to the outside in second spot and Brian Yazik in third. Andy Veltman rolling off in P4. We are just shy of the halfway point in this race, so we'll see what happens here as this race does progress on. We know how much of a pack race we've seen on these restarts. What will happen this time by? Pace car will take the hard left into pit road. There it is. Will Mogard go a little later in the box? He will go early in the box, getting that big jump. Green flag in the air.
I think Mitch Brown is going to clear Yazik for second. Actually, Yazik got a really good push there from Devin Serra. Got him back next to that 18 of Mitch Brown through turns number 1 and 2.
He's going to clear.
Yazik going to be able to clear. Yazik is clear. That 18 for second. Devin Serra trying to get underneath Brown, but not going to be able to down the backstretch, and Brown is trying to fight back in the inside lane.
See behind that, Maxwell, Serra, and Veltman were in close proximity there. Tight quarters off too. They will settle that situation up, but this is the best position Yazik's had all race long. He's in P2, and what can he do with that double zero? But don't count out Mitch Brown. He's been having a fabulous run in that third spot, but it's just going to be a matter, Evan, of is it going to be a long green flag run with the tire savings going to come into play again, or is it going to be another just go at it and have another caution? These guys are going to have to kind of pick their strategies out. I do think at this point we could run it to the end on fuel.
Yeah, I believe we could be able to make it to the end on fuel. It's going to be extremely close. But hopefully we do see it go green flag, and we can see how this all does play out with all the tire saving and fuel strategy and all that. But it looks like Yazik might be a little bit quicker than Jared Mogard right now. And is Yazik using a little more of his stuff, or is he just overall that much faster?
Well, he's running the inside of the track. We know that's where he likes to run, so I'm not overly concerned of him using up too much. I saw Mitch Brown already running the top. That would concern me more than anything. But again, I think if you're a driver, especially if you're Yazik, you want this to go green. I'm not sure about Mogard. We'll see if he's better with the tire saving this run. But I think if you're a driver, you want this to go green, Evan. But we can't count out. We've seen it in the real world, green-white checkers. I don't think these guys want to settle out a championship on a green-white checker. So we'll hope this goes green. But again, we can never count out anything. Anything can happen, and Yazik took a look that time by.
Yazik taking a look down the backstretch, not close enough to take a dive, backing off a little bit early, trying to get the better run through the turns number 3 and 4. See if he can get a good enough run to pull side by side. Don't think he's going to be able to here. It's going to be kind of close, but not going to be able to get to his inside quarter panel. It's going through turns number 1 and 2 now, and staying in line for the moment. Just kind of run that inside lane, not all the way down on the white line, about a lane up, but he got a really good run there out of turn 2. It's going to be close, but still not going to be able to get underneath him.
And that's just going to be a matter of Homestead. He's going to have to use whatever he can. We'll use whatever ability he has to make a pass. It's going to be difficult to do it on the inside, but it is doable. He's just going to really have to work at it and hope that Mogard makes a mistake. He's going to take a look. I don't think it's going to work in 1 and 2. I think if he's going to make that inside line work, it's going to work better in 3 and 4. And he is so close to the left rear quarter panel of Mogard. I was so nervous of there being contact, but none of such, and he's going to have just a look to the inside, not quite down the back straightaway, but he's going to continue and take another look at it in 3 and 4.
Trying to get underneath him through turns number 3 and 4. He's right to the door, through that corner, down the front stretch. Looks like Mogard is going to have the better run, and it's going to be able to clear. It's going to be interesting to see what Yazik is going to try and do here to try and get by.
You can see Mitch Brown running that upper groove, and we'll see if that momentum from that upper groove goes to his benefit down the back straightaway. You can see it is. He's closing the gap to Brian Yazik's back bumper. We'll see what he does here in 3 and 4. He is continuing to run right up on that third seam. Mogard running that same lane, but Brian Yazik just dedicated to that middle low groove, and it will pull him slightly to the left rear quarter panel. Not quite. Mogard hanging on for now, and Devin Serra clinging on to the back bumper of these guys.
4 truck battle for the lead right now, and once again, Yazik taking a look underneath Mogard. He's getting really good runs out of these corners down the backstretch now. Right on that door of the double zero of Jared Mogard, entering turn number 3 now. And will he be able to hang there through the center of this corner? It's going to be close, but he hung in there pretty well.
But the outside is going to be beneficial in 1 and 2. The inside will work better in 3 and 4, but just how Homestead is, Mogard's groove is going to prevail for him. But we'll see if he can dig down there on that bottom of the racetrack. And again, even on that inside lane, he got a decent run, but it's not going to be enough. I think he may have to try that upper groove, maybe even try to sneak a little bit higher. There is some room up there, but he's dedicated to kind of Kevin Harvick style. He's dedicated to running that inside of the racetrack and kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. He's going to try to keep making it work.
Well, I think right now there's not much else he can do, because if he goes up to the outside lane or if he just goes up to the outside lane, Mogard's already up there, so he can't pass him where he already is. So he has to try something different, and that's what he is doing.
If he runs a little bit higher, though, Mogard is not running as high as he could. You could get a little bit of momentum and just allow you to get that run off the corner and sling down to the inside, but doing that may hurt the tires, but he's just trying to sail it down in there. And I mean, Evan, there is a chance where if he is able to remain door-to-door down the back straightaway into 3, he could send it on in there and try to pull a slider, but maybe a little early for a risky move like that.
Yeah, with still 45 laps to go, I think it's a little bit too early for moves like that, but with what we've already seen in this race, I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
And while we're following the top 3, just a quick update. Jason Stewart running in the 13th spot. Pete Baskins right behind him right now. Remember, Pete Baskins was running pretty good earlier in this race, but has himself back at the moment, so we'll keep looking at that as it progresses. But again, with another look to the inside, Brian Yazik is clearly faster right now. He's digging, just that banking of that upper groove is going into the benefit of the 00, but it makes you wonder, one of these times, he's getting such good runs, one of these times I feel like it has to work. It's just going to take, how long is it going to take, and is he going to burn the tires off in the process?
Mogard didn't get through 3 and 4 very well there. That allowed Yazik to pull up to his door down the front stretch. Going through turns number 1 and 2 now is going to be trying to hang down on that inside lane. I don't know how well it is going to work. We are going to see here. I actually got a pretty good run through that corner. And he's still going to be on his inside through 3 and 4. He might be able to get him here.
He didn't quite send it in there hard enough, but he kind of took a slow and methodical approach to it, and this is the best position he's had thus far, but we're in 1 and 2 where I don't think he's going to be able to take advantage of it. I mean, Evan, maybe a different approach he could try, as you could see all that real estate in between him and Mogard right now. Maybe if he runs a little bit higher, gets a little bit more usage of that upper banking, it may be to his benefit.
Also, the risk with that is getting up into the outside wall, but he's still on his inside through turns number 3 and 4. And still not going to be able to clear through 3 and 4, but he actually got a really good run there. And maybe one thing he might need to try is maybe just try and run a little bit higher through 1 and 2. And try and cut underneath him down the backstretch and then clear him in 3 and 4.
Like I said, use some more of that racetrack. I mean, you don't have to necessarily door the guy up the track, but use more of the track, which will help him with his momentum, which ultimately will help him set himself up for the next set of corners. And I think he did do that to a degree. Maybe he's listening to our broadcast from his side. He kind of ran higher up the track there, and I think that's going to give him a better run. They're both kind of wiggling off of 4 as we are getting into the run, but I think that wiggle cost him. Has to fall back in line, and now Mitch Brown is just right to the back bumper trying to make an attempt to pass.
Brown was trying to fill that gap down the front stretch, was not quite able to. And Yazik had a really good run there through 1 and 2. He hung in there pretty good even on corner exit. Gonna be going down into 3 and 4. We'll see if he can clear. Not gonna be able to yet. See if he can get a better run out of turn 4. And Yazik still not gonna be able to clear for the lead. Actually, he might. Mogard had to get out the throttle there at turn 4.
Now he's gonna have to do something really aggressive here to clear him.
And wreck on the front stretch. Caution out. I believe Yazik should be in the lead.
He got it by a whisker, but he is gonna be the leader, and that's Brad Cross in the 45 Nick Curling. Jason Stewart is right there in the mix of it. I'm not sure if he had any involvement in that incident, but we'll check the replay and find out. Trying to see where it originated. The 77 of Giese got loose off of 4, cross. He couldn't check up. Nick Curling couldn't check up, and those guys go around on the front straightaway, and see Jason Stewart just able to crawl by as he is just lurking on the outside of the top 10 right now in 12th, but Jazik had him at the caution. He had him right at the point of yellow by half a truck length. That gives him the lead for the first time tonight, as we will have a set of pit stops, and this could very well change some things up, and it very well could change the face of this race, now having a new leader. We'll see what happens as they all head to the inside of the racetrack, as the running on the required access roads here at Miami Speedway. And Bogart has a little bit of a deficit in between him and Jazik. He didn't quite close it in, so Jazik has about a 2 truck length advantage on pit road. That gives him a little bit of a buffer if he does have a slightly slower stop to maybe preserve the lead. But you gotta have a nice smooth stop. You gotta make sure, as I said, you don't overshoot your pit stall. You gotta have a nice, perfect pit entry. Looks like Jazik had such. Bogart did a good job, so we'll see what happens on pit road.
Looks like Richard Fletcher's staying out, most likely just to lead a lap there. See if anyone does try 2 tires, if it's gonna be all 4, and who's gonna win the race off pit road? Jazik gonna win it off, it looked like. Yeah, it looks like Jazik is going to win that race off pit road. Mogart at 2nd, Sarah out 3rd, Mitch Brown at 4th, and Veltman out 5th.
We're gonna, now that I've kind of figured out how to use the instant replay, we're gonna go take a look at that, and that is the race at the cone right there. So just hardly did Brian Jazik pull it off, and very proud of myself that I actually pulled off using slow motion for the first time. But Richard Fletcher will predictably head to pit road. Does get the point for leading a lap, if that has any merit for his championship endeavors and wherever he is in the standings right now. But your top 3 is going to be your championship drivers: Brian Jazik, Jared Mogart, and I'll take that back because Devin Serra is going to be in 3rd. Mitch Brown will be in 4th, and Jason Stewart trying to find him. He is now in the top 10. He is in the 9th position.
Stewart starting to work his way up through this field. Even with that slightly damaged truck, he is up to 9th now, and it'll be interesting to see if he can continue to work his way through this field, or he's just going to kind of get hung there just inside the top 10.
And we'll bring up our plus and minus graphic right now, and you can see that the 97 of Veltman, he has the best plus minus. Actually, I'll take that back. The 58 of Josh Walker up 16 spots from his qualifying efforts. And then the 97 of Veltman up 10, and Sarah down 2, Jazik up 3, and still, it is a +3 net gain thus far for Stewart, where he qualified in the 12th spot, so he is making some slow progress. But if he's going to want to have any chance at this title, he's going to have to get up there, because these guys are running top 3, top 4. He's going to have to get up there to the front of the field and compete with them.
See if we do get the 1 to green this time. Looks like we shall. Brian Jazik, Jared Mogart can be leading this field back to the green. Devin Serra in 3rd, Mitch Brown in 4th, and Andy Veltman in 5th.
Yeah, so we'll see if indeed Jazik is able to hold on to the lead, or if a different line is going to come into play that perhaps gives Mogart the advantage. We haven't seen Jazik be able to control the race. He's had to play from behind, so this is his first opportunity, and we'll see if what he wants to do. Is he going to try to save the tires? Is he going to be able to save the tires? We're going to have 33 laps to go, so there's not going to be a lot of time, and you know these guys are going to be going full bore for these positions. So do you even have time to save? Do you have to go pedal to the metal and How much 2-3 wide racing are we going to have? And we're going to have a big wreck. We really haven't seen a huge wreck, but the way they were racing that first segment makes you think anything could be possible. One small mistake could be the difference, but here we come off of corner number 4, getting ready for yet another restart. Pace car is in. Yazik will be the control truck. He's on the throttle. We're green flag racing yet again.
And Devin Sarah got a pretty good restart there. He's going to be still side by side with Jared Mogard for second. Going through turns number 1 and 2. Sarah is going to clear for that second position. And Yazik is probably liking this right now, having a non-playoff driver right behind him.
Yeah, but you know Sarah is going to want the win, so don't get too excited, Brian, because you're going to have a battle on your hands if he is indeed able to get there. So Yazik, just run your line and just hope for the best. They have singled out pretty significantly behind him. I do see Mitch Brown side by side, or at least to the inside of the racetrack. He is, well, he was battling with Andy Veltman. He has cleared, so now his sights are set on Devin Sarah and Jared Mogard at the moment, but door-to-door behind that is Sam Maxwell, series sponsor, trying to battle and take a spot away from Josh Walker in the 58. He'll send it to the inside of the racetrack in turn 3. And looks like they will drag race it out door-to-door off of 4.
Josh Walker using that outside lane is going to have a slight advantage down the front stretch. Ty Hester trying to fill that gap that the 98 is making. And he got a little tight there through the center of 1 and 2. That allowed the 36 to get up to his outside through that corner and out of turn 2. Hester now stuck behind the 58 of Walker down the back straightaway as they get ready to go down into turns number 3 and 4 now. And we got a battle for the lead, Corey.
Yeah, Devin Sarah looked to the outside and nothing doing there. We know Yazik committed to that inside. It may be better on the long run, but I think that outside may be better on the short run. We'll see if that is indeed the case. As Sarah, he's going to want the win, but obviously he doesn't want to interfere and make a mistake to take Yazik out, so he's going to be very, very careful in this battle for the lead, but he does want the win, and you know he is going to go for it.
Sarah right to the back bumper through turns number 3 and 4, not quite able to take a look, and these two have kind of pulled away from Mogard and Brown. I wonder if Mogard and Brown are kind of saving their tires a little more, or what is the deal with that? We have not seen Yazik out front yet, so maybe he just is that fast. Yeah, we'll find out here in 30 laps if Yazik is still in the lead and if it goes green.
Yeah, I would expect to see Yazik be faster at the end of the run. We're not there. We're still early in the run, but here comes Sarah with a look to the inside. Yazik kind of running a line he hasn't had to run too often up in that third groove, and we'll see if this does allow Mogard and Brown to pull back in if they do stay side by side for a long time. And well, Evan, if you are Yazik now, is it in your best interest to let Sarah go?
That's a tough question right there, because you don't want to stay battling with him and burn your stuff up, or
I think he just backed off and gave it to him.
With them running side by side for that long, it could end up hurting their lap times and allowing Yazik to drop back.
I mean, we have seen over the course of the year Sarah be a fast driver, but not so much on the long run. So if we are suiting up for a long run, as we only have 27 to go, so we very well could run this to the end. We have 15 trucks still on the lead lap, about 17 still actively on the racetrack. So I think this has potential to go green flag. We go through the field and it is pretty much single file and spread out at this point. Minus a couple battles, and here comes Veltman looking to the inside of Brown. Not what Brown needs. He doesn't need to lose positions. He needs to go forward, so he's trying to hold on to that 4th spot. Veltman doesn't have the position right now, but I do think if you're Yazik, as long as you have that gap behind you, you can stay put, but if it starts to deteriorate, then obviously you're going to have to get up on the wheel.
Yeah, and only kind of 26 laps to go, so time is kind of starting to run out here. And Yazik was still the fastest of the playoff trucks out on track. Fastest truck on track was the 20 of Sarah.
Yeah, but by far he was by over a tenth, so that makes you wonder how hard is that 20 pushing it. But remember, he doesn't have anything to really battle for other than the win at this point, so may as well go for it. If he lucks out and gets another caution, everyone is going to come to pit road, so why not give it your all and see what's going to make out of the race. We haven't seen a crazy long run yet. I think the most we've gone is about 20 laps, so we'll see if indeed we run it to the end. It'd be 36 laps to the end if indeed we do run that. So these guys are, Yazik has, let's see here, I think it's about a 7/10 second buffer over Mogard, and he was 2/100ths of a second faster on that last time by. So even running behind Sarah, Yazik still clicking off some good times.
And car around on the back straightaway.
Josh Walker. So go back on replay.
Like him and Maxwell had some contact.
Yeah, down the back straightaway. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll go back a little bit further and see who was into who there. Maxwell was a look to the inside, and I think they were just, it's kind of hard to tell. Someone came up, someone came down, but they were just, I think, Maxwell trying to go for any kind of side draft he was possibly able to get, but it's very close racing on the straightaway there. Slight contact. I think Walker didn't make any contact, just spin through the grass, and another caution, another set of pit stops.
And do you think Sarah did want this caution? Because maybe he was bringing his stuff up a little bit more than he would have liked, but I do see Pete Baskin staying out on track, as well as Mark Cohn. Actually, Cohn is a lap down, but Baskins and Fletcher staying out.
Yeah, and I don't see 13 laps of green flag racing. I don't see that working, but I mean, you never know. Anything is possible. We've seen various strategies work in the past and strategies not work, and that brings somebody else into the picture that you never would have expected. So again, just another pit stop for these guys to have to nail, and at least for the top three that we're watching on the screen, everyone did do as such. Rich Brown a little bit further back on pit road, so we'll see how he does do. Left side's up on Brown. There goes Veltman, there goes Brown, and the race off pit road will go quite easily to Sarah.
Sarah, Boyd, Mogard, Yazik, Hester, Maxwell, Brown.
Yeah, Yazik with a 16-1. Horrible pit stop by that 55 crew. That'll put Mogard in front of him, and that is the title spot at the moment.
Yeah, we've got 20 laps to go and we do get back to the green, but Brandon Boyd out there on 2 tires. Be interested to see how that does end up playing out for him. He was not the first car off pit road. Looks like Devin Sarah was that, but it's like with the 3 staying out though, Boyd will be on the inside lane in 3rd, and that could even be a bit of an advantage.
And that is team cars right now, 4th and 5th. You can see the TCR logo on the front of Boyd, and of course TCR on Jared Mogard. So we'll see if maybe there's a little bit of teamwork in order to block Yazik as much as possible, and I mean, you never know. I mean, even if we were in a similar situation, actually, I don't know if I would because I'm too competitive, but we've seen stuff like that go on in the past where in the real world, we're just hold them up as best you can, let me go. So see if that is the case, but it's going to be less than 20 laps to go when we get this thing started.
I don't think this is going to work out too well for Baskins. I don't think with this extra 13 laps on his tires, I don't think that's going to turn out too well, but we will find out. If, you know, if there's quite a few quick cautions here at the end of this race, it could end up working out for him. Or we saw the last time that Baskins did stay out pretty early on in this race. Just with how hard second on back was battling, he was able to get out there and get to a pretty good lead for 10-15 laps.
Yeah, he was, and caution counter. I mean, remember, we went this race, we only had 1 caution in 67 laps in this race last year. Well, different cause of events here tonight. This is the 6th caution of tonight's race for 20 plus laps, 7 lead changes, and that is the lights out on the pace truck pace car. What am I at? A dirt track pace car. Lights are out, and we'll get this thing soon to be underway. Your playoff drivers. Mogard will be on the outside of row 2. Brian Yazik on the inside of row 3. And where would you rather be, Evan, right now?
What positions were they?
Mogard outside of row 2. Yazik inside of row 3.
I would say outside row 2.
I would say
especially at this track.
I mean, the inside does usually work better for the first couple laps, but with the older tires, 2 tires in front of Yazik, that's going to be a nerve-wracking situation. And see how quickly he's able to get by these two. If he is able to, and what's Mogard going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to just go straight to the outside 3 wide and pass them both? But remember Devin Serra, he's up there on 4 tires as well, so he is going to be fast. He's going for this race win, even if not for the championship, but we'll see what happens and get this race underway for the 7th time tonight after this caution. And Pete Baskins on the throttle very early, gets the jump and the green flag.
Serra getting a pretty good jump. He's going to hang out a second, and Brandon Boyd did not get going very well there. It's going to check up Brian Yazik. And Yazik back to 6th now, and might be end up losing another spot or 2 here, but Devin Serra underneath Pete Baskins for the lead here down the back straightaway. Jared Mogard filling that gap up top. Going into turns number 3 and 4. Serra down on the inside lane. Pete Baskins way up the track for 1 and 2. It's going to give Serra the lead and Mogard in 2nd. Down the front stretches, Mogard going to take a look. Just going to push him down the straightaway.
Yeah, he is, and Yazik is just stuck now with between the 3 of Baskins and the 98 of Maxwell, but he's to the outside of Maxwell, and how hard is Maxwell going to fight it? He's going to give him the door up top, and Yazik will have the opportunity to get 3rd, and he needs to get this spot as quickly as possible before the 00 and the 20 pull away too far. He's going to have the momentum built up on the top of the racetrack, and I think he is going to not quite get it, but is Maxwell going to give it to him?
Yeah, I think he's going to clear him now.
I think Maxwell may have cut him a break there. So now Yazik's going to have to turn the afterburners on. He's going to have 18 laps to eat up that 1 second deficit. And I'm not sure, Evan, if that's going to be long enough for a tire saver to be able to benefit. I do think that you may be able to hot lap. 17 laps good enough to hold off.
Yeah, I think at this point you are going to need to run not as hard as possible, probably about 95% or so, because some tire saving will still come into play, but definitely not very much.
Yep, so right now, Jared Mogard is your champion. He has 0.8 of a second of a gap over Brian Yazik. Last time by, Mogard was about 6/100ths of a second faster, which that's exactly what he needs to do. And if there was a caution right now, Brian Yazik, I think he'd be in a pretty good spot inside of row 2. Maybe not so much Mogard to the outside. And do you think we're done with cautions?
It's kind of hard to guess. I'm going to say that we are done with cautions here tonight. I think we'll go green to the end with only 16 laps to go. And looks like Serra and Mogard are kind of extending their lead a little bit.
Someone, it may be a little too late, but Jason Stewart, he's in 7th now. I mean, I don't think he's going to get the win, but he is only 1 truck in between him and Mitch Brown, so heck, he may be able to at least get 3rd, if not more, out of this.
Yeah, and if there is another caution or 2, Stewart could be in pretty good position.
And here comes Serra to the outside of the track, and I think Mogard trying to run that inside, and that has allowed Brian Yazik to close in by 0.2 of a second. It was 0.8. Now it's only a hair over 6 in between 2nd and 3rd, which at the moment is your championship battle. So if you are Brian Yazik, you want Devin Serra to hold up Mogard for as long as possible. And now the gap is less than 0.6 of a second, so that definitely, that 55 is on a charge. And Evan, neither of us have been in this kind of a situation, especially with a significant prize on hand. Sam Maxwell Customs, who makes very high-end custom steering wheels, real steering wheels. made of real metal and any kind of custom button interfaces you want on it, and adapters to put it on any kind of wheel that you do have. Very, very excellent products as a caution comes out.
Now.
That is the prize for these for the champion. You know they want it. So how hard are they going to fight? What are they going to do when that does come about to get that title on the line? We're going to have it's going to be a shootout. And the 43 into the right rear. We'll try to go a little bit further back and see what maybe caused that. But let's see. Did that look intentional, or did he get loose? That was hard to call that one. I don't know if I want to, but definitely a right rear hook there into the 60. But
it's definitely hard to tell, but we are back behind the pace car.
And this is gonna be, well, we ran 11 laps. Pete, you have to pit Pete Baskins, who just stayed out. He's back to 12th. Someone took 2 tires there, and that did not work. Brandon Boyd. So
yeah, that's Boyd that took 2 tires
didn't work.
there.
So it's a 4-tire stop. This is the most important pit stop.
But this is a few laps left. Jason Stewart's staying out.
And who else? How many others stayed
Alan
out?
Young.
That's
and
it.
Actually, a few more. Looks like I don't know if those guys are on the lead lap, but I see 3 more trucks staying out.
Let's talk about the rules here in the American Sim Racing Series. There are no 1-lap shootouts. So essentially, to get a race restarted, you typically need sometimes 6, usually 7 laps to go. Anything after that, you'll usually get a restart for a green-white checker. So we're gonna go green with 9 to go, maybe 8 to go. If we get, as we like to call it, an insta caution, that could be the race. So
if we get an insta caution, it's probably gonna go green for a green-white checkered. But if we run a lap or 2, it's going to be over.
But he only has Alan Young as his buffer, and Mogard will be in 3rd, and Brian Yazik may be the beneficiary right now. He's going to be outside of row 2. And
but they only took 2 tires, Corey.
Well, I still want to be outside of row 2.
The first 6 drivers are on 2 tires that did stay out. First on 4 is going to be Devin Serra and 9th, and
well,
I think that might be a little too far back.
At least 4 your championship drivers. I mean, well, the 3 of them that have been up there all race, they're on the same. They have the same strategy right now. They're all in the same boat. Jason Stewart, who hasn't had the speed tonight, he's throwing the. He's just throwing everything at it. He stayed out. We'll see how well that works. And I mean, that does help his cause out a little bit, having them only take 2 tires. I don't think it's going to be enough, but definitely only having them take 2 might help him. As he said, he may, if he can run 1 lap as the leader, we get a caution, that could be the race.
And the lights are still on, so it will be an 8-lap shootout here. So an instant caution, I think we would still get another restart here, but if we run 2 laps, it will be over.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 to go, Evan, when we go green. So like I said, we need, if we go 1 lap, we take a yellow at 7. I'm pretty sure that'll call it. So, but I mean, of course, we don't want to see that. We want to see this play out. We want to see how it's going to happen, who is going to be in the prime situation. So for the final time in our campaign cover in this series, Evan, take your pick.
Are we saying for the race or the championship?
Championship. Well,
both.
Let's see. Maybe it's the same driver. We'll see. I'm going to go for the championship. Take your pick.
I'll let you go first, Corey.
I am going to. I'm going to take a wild card. I'm going to take Mitch Brown.
Mitch Brown, who he's back in 5th. A lot can happen on this restart here. Well, Corey, I think we're both going to take wild cards here. Neither of us are going to pick the favorites. I'm going to go with Stewart.
As I just think, I mean,
I think with how this race has gone, there's a very high possibility that we could have a very quick caution here, and that could end the race. So
all it takes, from my perspective, I think there's going to be a stack up, and all Mitch Brown's going to have to do is take a power move, and he may be able to take everyone in one shot. But I mean, it's going to be an exciting finish for, as I said, a Sam Maxwell custom steering wheel, which I saw the picture of it. I'm jealous. I wish I could have it. I'll be going for it next season, hoping to be able to do it. But who is going to take it for 2018? We'll find out live here, PTR TV and iRacing Live. It's going to be 8 laps to go in the 2018 season. Who's going to win it? Jason Stewart up front, stayed out. He's a title contender, and then the rest of them are in the top 5. Who's going to get it? Pace car is in. Stewart gets this race underway.
Stewart's going to clear the 26 of Young, Mogard, and Yazik side by side for, well, right now they're going to be 3 wide for 3rd. Now the 00 is going to clear for 2nd, and he has a run on the 7 of Stewart.
Here comes Yazik with a look to the inside. Big block by Mogard as he goes to the inside of Stewart.
Mogard underneath Jason Stewart for the lead and the championship into turns number 3 and 4, coming to 7 laps to go here, and Jason Stewart is falling back.
Brian Yazik needs to clear Stewart, and he needs to clear him now. Mitch Brown is right behind this battle for 2nd, and the longer that Stewart is able to hold up Yazik, the better it is for Mogard, but he will not be able to do it any further. So Brian Yazik's going to have 6 laps to only gain about 3 truck lengths. That's very well possible, as they are 3 wide with Maxwell, Sarah, and can't tell Alan Young back there.
Alan Young up in the outside wall,
but he's going to hang on to it.
And Devin Sarah is on those 4 tires. And right now it's 3 wide with Maxwell and Stewart, but back up front, Mogard is starting to pull away.
It's 0.3 of a second, and it's 6 laps. It's, I don't know, Evan, and as I was kind of trying to say earlier, what do you do out of the ordinary to win a championship?
Mitch Brown got a really good run there out of turn 2. Get right to the back bumper of Yazik for that 2nd position, not able to make a move there entering 3 and 4. But I don't know if Yazik really has the short run speed to get by Mogard here.
And if he does, I don't know if he's going to be able to get by without doing anything crazy. And here comes Mitch Brown with a look to the inside. And he's going to...
Contact there. Yazik sliding up the track.
He didn't... I'll tell you that Yazik's not going to like that, but a title's on the line, and Mitch Brown sees it. He has 0.4 of a second to eat up as the 20th Sarah is going to look to the inside of Yazik. And I think there's too big of a gap. A caution will end the race and end the season, so we're going to go hopefully green flag for 4 more laps, and Jared Mogard leads it by 0.4 of a second.
Well, we saw what Mitch Brown will do to just get by the guy in 2nd. What is he going to do if he does get to Mogard? And he's already cut off over a 10.
Wow, he made a charge through 1 and 2 there.
He went from half second to just 0.3.
Watch out for that 18. Was it a bad turn for Mogard, or is that just the pace that Mitch Brown has right now? We're coming to 3 laps to go. This is the race for the championship.
A little over 0.2 of a second quicker for Mitch Brown. 3 laps to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the race win and the championship. Here through turns number 1 and 2, Mitch Brown
look at
once
him
again gaining
1 and 2.
So much time. Brown started back in 11th, really didn't qualify very well, but he does have the race speed.
Yes, he does, but I mean, it's not over yet. He's still not there. He's going to need to make some time up.
He's going to be there here in less than a lap.
Get yourself ready, folks, for a championship battle here on PTR TV on iRacing Live. Here he comes to the inside with a look is Mitch Brown. He's not going to have it. The momentum for Mogard will prevail on the outside, but he's going to have about 3 miles of racetrack left to try to win this championship.
Coming into turns number 3 and 4 here. About 2 truck lengths off of the back bumper of Mogard, losing a little bit of time there through 3 and 4. Gaining a little bit on the exit to number 4, White flag in the air. One more lap in the ASRS 2018 Sim Maxwell Custom Truck Series season.
This is where he's made his time up. It's been in 1 and 2. Mogard goes to the top of the track, and Mitch Brown goes to the bottom. Mitch Brown should not have as much of momentum off of the back straightaway. He will not. He's going to be about 2 truck lengths back. What is he going to do? Is he close enough? I don't think he is, but is he going to go for it? He's going to send it on in there. He's going to sail it in there, but he's not going to be close enough. He gave it the shot. It's not going to be enough. Jared Mogard will come off corner number 4 and be the 2018 Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series champion.
And Mitch Brown is going to come home in second in the race and the championship. Devin Sarah in third, and Brian Yazek back there to fourth.
Yeah, it's amazing job by these drivers. Mitch Brown, he was not close enough to send it in there, but he went for it. Brian Yazek will have to settle for 4th, and Jason Stewart did have to settle for a 8th place effort and 4th place in the championship standing. So I do want to quickly go back and show you that last lap and what Mitch Brown tried to do. He just wasn't close enough to make the move. You can see here he's on the back straightaway, and he was about 4 truck lengths back. He sent it in there. If he was closer, I feel like that would have been an absolute carnage, but he wasn't close enough to make it work. You can see Yazek back there after that little bit of contact. He will finish the race in 4th and finish the championship in 3rd, but let's give you your final results here tonight from Homestead Miami Speedway. As your championship winner, it is Jared Mogard in the 00. He led 46 laps of tonight's race, gets the championship. Mitch Brown not able to lead a lap, but takes home a 2nd place. Devin Sarah 3rd, Brian Yazek 3rd in the title, will settle for a 4th place finish here tonight. Sam Maxwell in 5th, Josh Walker 6th, Andy Veltman in 7th, Jason Stewart will settle for an 8th place finish and a 4th place championship effort. Ty Hester in 9th, and Pete Baskins in 10th.
And coming home in the 11th position, we have Mark Cohn in 12th, the 41 of Tim Knott, 13th, the 26 of Alan Young, and 14th, Steve Buhala. 15th and last truck on the lead lap, Richard Fletcher, and then rest of the top 20 of Alex Giese, Brandon Boyd, Brett Cross, Nick Kerwin, and Jared Haggerty in 20th.
All right, and the rest of the field here tonight is Dylan Hickey in 21st, Brandon Stokes at 22nd, Tyler Seville in 23rd, Jordan Harnish in 24th, Troy Haight in 25th, and we have Scott Smith, Clarence Bonner, Jim Foose with a 28th, Jonathan Holstein, and that is your 29 trucks that gridded here tonight. So stay with us, folks. After a brief break, we're going to let these guys unwind after that championship race, and we will talk to your top 4 drivers, or your final 4 drivers, and talk about their nights, and ultimately talk to your 2018 champion. So please stay with us.
This is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
And we're back here on PTR TV and iRacing Live. We just saw the championship race for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series, and it was an exciting one. Ultimately, your championship tonight going to Jared Bogard. But we're going to talk to the top 4 finishers in this final race of the season. So your fourth place driver in the 2018 season is going to be Jason Stewart, and Evan Black's caught up with him.
Well, Jason, you've had a bit of a rough race here. You started in 12th, ended up dropping back to around 18th to 20th, but managed to come out with an 8th place finish. What was this race like for you?
You know, first few runs and got loose, got worked to the back, and I don't know how I missed all those accidents, but I guess that's why we're all the top 4. We all missed all the accidents and we're there at the end.
Yeah, and there at the end, you tried to play that strategy, staying out there after those 10 laps or however long you did have on those tires. And did you put much thought into that, and did you think it was going to work, or what was your kind of thought process going into making that move?
Well, I was running 4th in points all night long. Do the opposite of what the top 3 were doing. That was my thought. I was hoping for a caution, but wasn't in my lap this year.
Yeah, you did end up winning the championship last year and not quite able to go back-to-back this year, but you were close. You were about 10 laps away from there. If you would have had another quick caution or 2 there at the end, you most likely would have been the champion. Is anyone you'd like to thank or shout out to after your 8th place finish here and 4th place in the championship?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank my teammates, Jared, Mitch, and Tim. Sponsor Todd Kirkwood with Marketing Solutions. Find him on Facebook or simmarketingsolutions.com. He's going to be back on next year, and I'd like to thank Jim for putting this on, you guys for broadcasting. I put a little message on my back bumper for y'all. I don't know if y'all saw it, but our thoughts are with Jim's family, and you know, not much to say about that, but hope all's well.
Alright, thanks for talking with us. Congrats on your 4th place finish in the championship, and good luck next season.
Alright, thank you. I think you all will be racing with us next season. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's the plan. It'll be fun.
Thank you.
And it looks like we do not have 3rd place finisher in the championship, Brian Yazik, so at least for right now, Corey will talk to 2nd place finisher in the race and the championship, Mitch Brown.
All right, Mitch, you had a phenomenal run here tonight, and you were right up there going for the lead, battling with these guys, and you had to get by Brian Yazik. You kind of used some brute force to get by him, and just not enough time to get to Mogard, but you seemed like you had the faster truck there at the very end.
Yeah, just not enough time, as you said, but nothing to hang our head on. We had a great season, and congrats to Jared on the championship.
So obviously the mindset going in was you had to do the best job you can. Did you go into this race a little bit nervous, or did you have confidence going in at Homestead? What was your mentality? I know we talked to you a little bit. What was it like going in and taking those first 10-15 laps of the race?
Just trying to get a feel of the truck and the track, and just see how everything would play out. You know, we really didn't get a really long run in. Instead of only one somewhat green flag run, but just kind of take it easy, just go by lap, and you know, put myself in the best position to win at the end.
Yeah, so obviously at the end you were about 3 truck lengths back, and we saw you went for it, man. If you were a little bit closer, did you have a plan of what you may have done if the circumstances were a little bit different?
Not really. If I had a chance, I mean, I was gonna send it regardless, but I wasn't gonna, you know, dump Mogard for the championship. That's just not how I race. I mean, he's raced me clean all year, and I want to do the same to him. But you know, just I didn't have really kind of planned if I was closer, but you know, nothing to held our head high.
Yeah, you did the best you could, and You finished second here tonight in the championship in the season, and obviously hopefully taking that momentum into the 2019 campaign. So after a full season and an excellent season here tonight, man, who do you want to give a shout out to and a thank you to?
Just got to thank you guys for putting on these races for the entire season. You guys did a fantastic job. Sad to see you go, but it was a great year for you guys broadcasting. Got to thank all the guys back at the shop. Got to thank Jason, all my teammates, Jason, for his run tonight. He finished 4th in the championship. You know, so hey, two of us on the team finished top 4 in the championship. Not bad. But our work's not done. We gotta go after a modified championship in these next 2 weeks. You know, so there is no off season for us. We're gonna keep our head down and keep focusing and try to see if we can get another championship.
Yeah, we'll be watching you on that efforts, man, and hopefully we'll be on the track with you next season and hopefully be fighting you to be in this very same position. So again, congrats, and we'll be seeing you, Mitch.
All right, thanks, guys.
And now slightly out of order, but we do have Brian Yazik, and Evan has caught up with him.
Well, Brian, you come out with a 4th place finish there in the race and then 3rd place in the championship. And what was this race like for you?
Frustrating. I mean, I don't understand why, you know, you got a big old wide track and people got a wreck for dead last. I'll never understand that as far as I'm concerned. And then, you know, we're doing all right in our HPP simulation Toyota, and you know, have the lead, and our line's going to work out because, you know, we got a pretty good long haul truck, and go to pit road and roll a 15-second pit stop, and that puts you right back behind. So I don't know, nothing you can do about that. It just sucks. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it definitely did seem like you had the fastest truck, especially after a few laps. And do you feel like that's just because you were saving your tires, or were you pushing as hard as you could and just your truck just handled better in the long run?
Cautiously aggressive, I'll put it that way. I mean, we had a line that we knew worked. You know, it's what we ran in Homestead in the Cup finale. So we knew it was a good line and how you got around the place. It's just, you know, you can't do anything when everything's out of your control. Like, that's the part that just got me bent over, you know, just up in arms. I mean, because we as a team, you know, on our side, we did what we had to do, and you know, everything else had other ideas, and that just sucks. I mean, it just sucks. Congrats to Jared. You know, he was in the right place at the right time and did what he had to do, but you know, should be us celebrating, but the game and all the other factors decided to just not play with us today, and that just sucks.
Yeah, it sucks when stuff out of your control happens to kind of take you out of the situation, but definitely nothing to hang your head about this season. 4 wins, and I believe this is around 17, now 18 top 10s. And is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to after your 4th place finish here?
I mean, like always, a shout out to HPP Simulation for keeping the logos on the doors and the quarter panels and the hood and all that other stuff. And you know, Loud Pedal Motorsports, I hate to let my team down. That just sucks. Clipping that Apex and AMSOIL by Adam Littell, Mahan Laboratories, you know, just all of the sim racing apps, all the people that make us go around. I just hate to let everybody down. That just sucks.
All right, well, thanks for talking with us. Congrats on your 4th place finish, and good luck next season.
All right, thank you.
And now, or you go ahead, Corey.
I know, I'm eager to talk right now, so we're going to bring series sponsor Sam Maxwell in, as he will say a few words to present our 2018 champion. All right, Sam, as series sponsor of the 2018 campaign, we're gonna let you take the floor and say what you would like to say, and bring in our champion.
Okay, so in the beginning of the season, the league started off with little bumps. We couldn't seem to put more than 5 green laps together, but we worked on it. The league as a whole got better, and I think towards the end we really started putting on some good shows, and I'm really proud of what the league accomplished this year. I'm really proud of the 4 championship finalists, And congratulations to Jared Morgard, our ASRS Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series champion.
All right, Jared, you won the race. You did exactly what you needed to do, but by no means was it easy. We saw it almost looked like Talladega-style racing early in this race, 2-3 wide, hectic, just a lot of shaking and baking, and then some green flag runs, and then a lot of strategy and just being in the right place at the right time, making those power moves, and you did everything right. So how do you summarize how you feel right now and ultimately how this race went?
Now I'm relieved. All day in that whole race is stressful. That race was crazy. I mean, like you said, a little bit of everything there, and it come down to strategy, and I usually get it wrong at the end of the race, so I finally got it right with strategy. Yeah, I don't know. It just worked out. I can't believe it worked out in my favor, really, to be honest.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of strategy going on in this. What was it like? I know early we saw, I mean, you and Yazek have kind of been the key drivers all season up front most of the time, and it just seemed like, I don't know if it was lines or maybe you just did something a little different, but you seemed to get through the traffic a little bit better than him, but it may have worked out in his benefit on the long run, but you didn't really have that tonight. So was that kind of what got you by, is all the short runs tonight?
Yeah, it did, and you know, really that kind of surprised me a little bit, because usually I'm a lot better on a longer run than I am a short run, but for whatever reason it seemed like I was not as good at a long run. I mean, that one run we had, and me and Yazek were side by side for, I don't know what, probably had to be 10-15 laps. I could tell I was losing it, and the tires were going away, which for me was a little out of character, but I don't know, for whatever reason the shorter runs kind of worked in our favor, and you know, I was hoping it was going to go green to the end without the last yellow, and then the last yellow come out, and I'm like, well, we might as well take two and try and get out front, because I figured everybody was going to pit, and then Stu stayed out and a couple others, but yeah, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, it did, and you got that 2018 championship, and you'll obviously be able to celebrate and take that into next season, as this will be your 6th win of the season, I do believe it to be. So who would you like to give a thank you to and a shout out for this championship and the whole season?
You know, first and foremost, we touched on it in the pre-race. Shout out to Jim and the league that the league he's put together, the series he's put together. You know, he's dealing with some unfortunate family issues right now, to where, like I said in pre-race, 9 out of 10 leagues they would have just canceled and made it up next week, or some leagues wouldn't have even made it up at all. So it's a shout out to Jim for you know, the officials and stuff that he has lined up, and Nick Cochran for being race director to allow them to have that option. Secondly, I had to thank Sam Maxwell for the title sponsor. He's done this for last 2 years now, 3 years, and it's great when you have a partner in the league that helps support it and puts prizes and sponsorship money and all that into the league. It's greatly appreciated. I mean, you don't really see it, but there's a lot that goes on, and he's a big part of that and what he does. So gotta thank him. And then I just gotta thank my sponsors, iBog Power Computers, TDS Internet, Nick Kaufman again with Kaufman Racing Graphics, and Twitchy Race Reports for being on this car. I gotta thank my buddies, my teammate Josh Walker, Brandon Boyd, and buddy Brad Cross for keeping me calm there toward the end. If it weren't for them, I think I probably would have done something stupid, hit the wall or something. So thank them for keeping me calm, and you guys for the broadcast. You guys have been a great podcast partner. It's kind of sad to see you guys leaving after the year, but greatly appreciate you guys doing this year and everything you guys do. And lastly, the fans, I hope you guys enjoyed that finale. I mean, you couldn't have scripted it any better. 10-lap run to the end, or 7-lap run to the end, and all 4 championship guys are within the top 6 positions. So can't script it any better.
Yeah, by no means you can, and thanks for the kind words, and again, congratulations, man. Take that momentum, take that excitement, celebrate, and I think we'll be seeing you on the track next season.
I'm looking forward to it. I got one more championship to win in a couple of weeks in my Monday series, but we're going to celebrate this one, finish this year strong, and get ready for next year. So looking forward to it.
Of course. So that is our post-race show, talking to the champion and the 3 other drivers who were in contention here tonight. And what a race, what a season for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series, as it now comes to a conclusion here tonight in Miami. And we want to wrap up coverage tonight with our sponsor shoutouts here on the PTR TV side of things. We have Movement Fabrications, a longtime partner with the channel, and Krutz Custom Graphics with Brandon Krutz. PTR TV helps me run the channel, and he does amazing work. So if you're looking for any kind of graphic work, he is your guy. Check him out. And graphics provided, well, overlay graphics rather, provided by iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. So it's been a great season of coverage for this league, and we have one more unofficial race to cover for them. It'll be December Dirt Week by Wicked Cushion. That'll be in mid-December at Charlotte Dirt Track, but we have one more race here on PTR TV in this calendar season to cover, and that's going to be next week for the Integrity Racing League, as they have their Championship 4 at this very same track next week. So you'll want to stay tuned for that, and hope you enjoyed the race tonight. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you on Monday.